Welcome back to Game of Growth weekly podcast. You're listening to episode 11. I'm your host, Tina from Truepush, and we have our guest today, Hari, founder and CEO at Thinkwide PGO. PGO deal with all types of paying guest accommodation services, ranging from budget oriented to upscale varieties across India. So, Hari, how are you doing today?
Hey, fine, thanks, Tina, and it's my pleasure to be here, especially a leading customer engaged platform where I'm going to share my thoughts. It's a
Thank
wonderful
you.
feeling.
We're excited. We're so excited to start the podcast with you. So, Harry, can you run us through your journey so far? How was it?
Before that, a small correction. We pronounce PGO, PGO. It's not PGO.
Okay,
So it's like P and go. It's like go for it. So
right.
PGO. By the
P-
way, I must say my journey so far has been really fantastic as it's progressing the way I planned. So that's a wonderful sign. And of course, there were a few challenges and many unknown encounters, but one has to handle it, isn't it? So that's when your journey moves on and on. Just to talk about me, a fresh engineering graduate from Madras University, not clearly knowing what to pursue in life, though I did know something, finally landed in Mumbai. My career started as a sales executive, selling computers, selling computer education in Mumbai, to what I'm today as entrepreneur. Throughout my journey, I really believed in fun and business. These two really has to go together. Then only you'll enjoy your work. And I also value work-life balance. That's where your professional and personal lives are really, you justify both of them. I believe that's what keeps you live. So frankly, I built on every opportunity as an employee, and even today, I'm up for any challenge. Finally, I have post my sales job in Mumbai. I have landed up in a job in technology with Ericsson. I've handled multiple greenfield projects, swapped a couple of networks, handled in and around technology. I got a great opportunity to move around the globe and support building mobile networks across. In fact, frankly, part of those first set of people who built mobile technology in India.
That's great.
So that's my journey so far.
That's great, Harry. That's great. So, you have worked across various countries, right? Can you share with us your experience and learnings from that?
Yeah, so true. I have worked around 6 to 7 countries, mostly as an freelancer and expat. It's a great opportunity to work around the globe. You will get to meet different kinds of people, different culture, and get to know so many fabulous places around, and get to know different tastes of food. So coming to experience and learnings, it makes your life easy if you understand the local culture and customs and quickly adapt to it. If not, you will be in the highest trouble. I have many colleagues, frankly, my friends, my colleagues, who has to rush back as they could not adjust to the local customs. If you really know how to adapt very quickly to the local culture and create a friendly environment, you really love working abroad or in any different area. And frankly, in many countries, as I said, I worked as a freelancer and as an expat. My job is to identify local talent, build local talent, and kind of hand over the job and move off. I really enjoyed it. It's a very good experience. Working with local talent. The young members. So and kind of groom them, train them, be a mentor to them. On-job training. It's a wonderful experience for me.
Great, 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 Harry. From selling computers to having a trip around the world, doing freelancing, that must have been a beautiful experience for you. So,
Yeah.
Harry, what did it all take to quit a job and start building your own digital platform?
Tina, frankly, I did not quit my job to start a digital platform. It just happened.
Okay.
As I said, my first job was with Ericsson. Finally, when I quit, it was like Telenor, Vodafone. Throughout my journey, my colleagues, the other techies, my friends, they were trying to master within technology, fall in love for GSM, CDMA, 2G, 3G, 4G, whatnot. But my love stayed with the advertisement of Ericsson. I don't know whether Tina, you know this or not. One black coffee, please, is the ad way back 96 in Ericsson. It's a very popular, lovely ad. You can browse in net and see for that. One black coffee, please. A old man, who gets confused in a restaurant, a lady talking in her small phone, he confused and gets understands that she's approaching him, and he goes to her and kind of stands there, and she thinks he has come to take the order, and she says one black coffee, please. So it's a phone ad.
Okay.
So the phone was like as small as that was the concept. So
Oh.
my passion was always towards, even though I'm a technology guy, I'm a techie, my passion was always towards business. Selling computers during my initial days, as you rightly said, those days has really haunted me because a lot of learning, in technology, you kind of put the best efforts, you build the technology, you work with your techies, whereas kind of moving around and meeting different people, that's a great opportunity. Usually it gets offered only while you are handling business, especially sales. It haunted me, so my passion and the initial days of selling computers, that made me work very closely with business teams, even though I'm a technology guy, understand, making them understand the technology. See, if you know, many of the products are, like a television which gets sold, there's a technology behind it, and it gets sold by a non-technology guy. My concept is, if a technology guy who is making that television, if he gets chance to sell the product, that's what made me to work very closely with most of the business teams wherever I was, whether it is Telenor, Vodafone, or initial Hutch days.
Hmm.
Many people call me, you might have heard business managers, business head, sales head. They call me business CTO, a business techie, a technology person with the pro business mindset.
Right.
So that is the kind of passion towards business, and finally here I am as a PGO founder.
Amazing. Amazing, Harry. So, what was the idea behind starting Pigo? How did it all start?
India is the third largest startup ecosystem after US and China. We all know that. Even if you look at the government initiatives like Startup India to today's Vocal for Local, all are in support of startup ecosystem. I mean, way back, Swiggy's of 2014, Flipkart, I believe 2007, Byju's 2008, Paytm 2010, Ola, Voyo in 2013. All of them are technology driven, successful platforms.
Hmm.
Somewhere I like the concept of aggregator and kind of resale model, what many of these like Ola and Voyo has taken up, selling someone's product, and your revenues stays as a commission. So it's not your product, but you just brand it and sell as it is yours. When I look back at different industries within the startup ecosystem, three things has come into my mind: hospitality, transport, and food. After a lot of discussions within the family, within the friends group, I have zeroed it on hospitality. So hospitality, startup immediately. I mean, if someone has to top of the mind, everyone will recall Oyo. So Oyo is a technology-driven a booking platform for budget hotels. But if you look at the overall hospitality, it starts always with Hostel PG, which is choice of most of the millennials, like our popular Gen Y. That is where they stay. People who born between 1980 to 2000, we call them millennials. Most of the time they stay in a hostel and PG while they're home away, for their in search of studies or employment. They need a home away,
Right.
and today it's hostel and PGs are doing it. And millennials, I mean, if you look at it, it's like 410 million population and 40% of workforce of India, higher than US population and two times the China millennial population. This is the big strength in India. That's why many people say that India is growing young.
Right.
So, I mean, to support largest millennial group in India for their stay options in hospitality, that's where we thought a digital platform, a technology platform, helps in support of millennials. That's how we started Pigo.
Great. That's an amazing journey, in fact. So, how do you make sure of the quality of a booking to a customer? What if they're unhappy with the service they received? So, how do you actually make sure that the accommodation is having all the quality requirements for a traveler?
Yeah, so to tell you, it's a $93 billion opportunity. The market size is $93 billion. We're talking about 46 million, young professionals and students are looking for accommodation as such, hostel and PG. So,
Right.
and today, if you look at the traditional market, like a typical hostel and PG, there is no value for money. They're just there, kind of help you out to find a monthly tariff place. It's done by a family. Uh, Many of them are not value for money, but the emerging market, where most of the new MNCs are coming up into emerging market and building co-living, a new name which has been given to hostel and PGs, which is a co-living segment. They're coming up and kind of bringing up the value for money. But here the biggest problem is value for money, and at the same time, affordability is the main thing what we have to consider. The ticket size in traditional market is somewhere around 5.5K per month on a monthly booking versus the ticket size is around 8.5K in emerging market, in the co-living segment. So what we have taken is, my day one, my intention is not to create a platform as a marketing tool. If you look into my website or app, it don't sound as a marketing tool. I have ensured that we are going to put the factual information. The real-time pictures we have captured, and we have did the survey, physically visited these properties, and our algorithm will help the stay seekers to approach all these PGO verified properties, because we are visiting them in person and taking the factual data. And we'll take the deal forward without having to deal with any middlemen. So both the sides, the millennials, I mean the stay seeker side and the stay providers, both are saving, can avoid the middlemen.
Right.
So we are kind of armed with factual data. So like guest reviews, the tariff, and we showcase the properties, and we're helping the users to zero on the best suitable and pocket friendly stay option. So to be frank, we are not creating any marketing tool in our platform. We just make and ensure that factual data is put across. Once you have factual data, it gives confidence and comfort feeling to the customers. For example, while I was dealing with my emerging market, many of the new players, my new partners, was talking about hey, Hari, let's put it as a schedule a visit. Avoid any online bookings. Let the people come, visit the place, and schedule the visit, and then decide whether to stay here or not. They just want to avoid the last minute issues. Then I said, what is the fun in making a digital platform when you're asking them to come for a scheduled visit? So on one front, we are saying that, hey, save your time, speed up, blah, blah, blah. And on the other side, we are saying, hey, come visit us and then decide whether you want to stay or not.
Right.
Rather, what I suggested is, hey, take it as a challenge and give them 48 hours of time. Make them booking online, let them come. If they did not like it, make them free to leave the place. So that is kind of helping us to kind of make mini online bookings rather than doing a traditional way of schedule a visit, come, see, then decide.
Right. Great. Great, Harry. So the question is, how do you tackle the low ratings of your customers? Um, and also, what's your thought on how would this affect the businesses, the
Big
reviews and
time.
the testimonials of a product?
Good question, Tina. Big time. Big time. It will impact, because if you look at when I said the factual data, one of the factual data is the guest reviews. The reality is ratings really matter. There is absolutely no doubt. And low ratings will cause a damage to our product, no doubt about it. It will not get you the search rankings, overall visibility on the public platforms, on the Play Store, App Store, where what all. You will be kept in the lower side in the results page. But the fact is that you will not always get positive reviews. It is impossible to satisfy each and every customer. That is where the percentile has to be really high. You have to set some benchmark as percentile. For example, someone is using PGO, and the network, there was a network issue at that place. Maybe the Wi-Fi is not functioning properly, or it is that the data he has some issues. But he thinks that PGO is not functioning. So immediately we'll put a review saying that PGO is not up to mark. And maybe we work on OTPs. If the mobile network is unable to deliver the SMS, then also we'll put OTPs are not working in this. So the feedback is going to be so intense. You have to face it. Sometimes unknowingly he will blame PGO or your product. And in my opinion, how to limit negative reviews? The best is first launch the product to your family, friends, and employees before hitting the real customers. Whether it is a small change, that is the reason, always the user acceptance. I mean, not only UAT, I'm just saying launch it for your family and friends and tell them to give feedback. Encourage them to give the feedback. Accept the critics.
Right.
And on top of it, I also see a developer or the product owner who is replying to a negative review publicly with a solid action plan within the small note. In some platforms, you cannot really elaborate what you are going to do against that review. With a small note, gets you more customers than having hundreds of positive reviews. It's proven. So if you reply and in a confidence tone, and if your reply is realistic, even if you have negative reviews, customers love to come to your platform than having hundreds of positive reviews which says excellent platform, thank you very much. So that is one reason I always recommend this particular engagement program has to be handled by the CEO vertical. In my opinion, I have it with me. I personally handle customer inputs.
Right. Amazing. So, Harry, if your customers like your service, they tend to come back, for a booking on the same platform. So, what measures and strategies you're following, for your customer satisfaction and to increase the retention?
Yeah. So Satisfaction and retention. These are the two elements. One represents the attitude of the customer towards your product, which is the satisfaction, and the retention is behavior. Coming from telecom background, so we used to sell the SIM cards at different point of sales. We see a retailer who is selling more recharges are valuable to the company than who is selling SIM cards. Because a person who is just selling SIM cards is a transaction. He's just selling a transaction. But a person who is getting the same buyer as a consumer coming back to you and buying recharges every time when he needed, he's selling a relationship. So customer retention is very important. And today the knowledge, especially the information, is in his fingertips because he has a smartphone thanks to many phone makers, and he has data. So it is very easy for him to understand what is PGO and what is OYO and what is competition around the Hostel and PG. And so what we have to ensure is the customer experience, end-to-end customer experience. Whenever he encounters, whether it is over a phone or over an email or over a call or an encounter to a mission, maybe to an app,
Right.
we need to have a great experience. And we also need to understand and define some SLAs. If you promise, you have to really ensure that it gets done. That is the reason, in our technology, we have a vertical on UI and UX. For example, user experience and user interface, what we do, talk about UI and UX,
Right.
plays a major role in technology. And for example, I told my technology guys that the app should work at low speeds because the data low speed is the reality, especially during the data hour, which is like 8 p.m. in the evening. So your app should work. So that makes a huge difference. So technology plays a major role, in this.
Right. So, moving on to the next question, Harry. Every digital platform need to glorify its presence across different channels to always step ahead of their competitors. So, what are the different ways or marketing strategies you're implementing to be right there for your audience and targeted groups?
Good. Traditional marketing and digital marketing, this is what you are talking about. And let me answer because you were talking about digital platform and digital presence. Many digital marketing experts, they confuse digital marketing is just knowing about social media, frequent posts, campaigns, appearing on search, reach on email. In my opinion, there is one more element which is important: know your competition. Digital marketing is very dynamic in nature because it all depends upon how the campaign is running. Sometimes you have to step back because someone else is launching and he's spending more money per conversion, then your rate will shoot up. So I really do weekly reviews personally with my digital marketing team on how PGO is performing in the digital space, what are the organic and paid growth, what are the app website registrations, what are the keyword rankings, how much is the spends per user, user data and profiling, and insights about competition. That is always stays in my review, both direct and indirect. It's not necessary that direct competition, but a similar market somewhere, and it could be an indirect competition also. So based on that, see, for example, if you even in this COVID pandemic times,
Right.
our backlinks, local citations, and guest post links have helped us outrank competitors. Major keywords. You just go and type PG near me, PG hostels, paying guest accommodation, PG in Amirpet, PG in SR Nagar, PG in Whitefields. PGO ranks one. As I said, sometimes we don't spend because, for example, recently when No Broker has a big launch in South India, We stayed back. We said, hey, it's not the time to spend. Let's stay back. But we ensured that social feeding has been done. So digital marketing is all about target group of audience and at the same time observe what competition is doing. So that's how
Right.
we do.
Absolutely. So, Harry, how are you coping up with the COVID crisis? Since many businesses has taken a hit because of the pandemic, do you think
Yes.
that things get to normal anytime sooner, or and how has the pandemic affected your business?
COVID crisis. So people started talking about pre-COVID and post-COVID. I don't know when the post-COVID will happen. But first few weeks, I took it as, when the lockdown has been announced, and I took it as, oh, hey, let's make use of course correct. And then we have some 30% of business happening because hostels and PGs are not shut down completely. There are emergency staff who are staying at hostel and PGs. So we had almost 25 to 30% business in the months of April and May. So, and as a course correct, we started working on UI and UX, but then the lockdown took much longer than expected. And
Right.
frankly, it's still on. So startups like us were highly impacted. And many of our financial goals and business goals are deferred at least by 2 quarters in the current situation. And 2 quarters is huge cost because it is impossible to have business plans built with the 2 quarters buffer. It's a
Right.
huge buffer. I'm very hopeful to get back to normal, but this time the normal is going to be new normal. It is not a normal. So I must say it's a new normal. The reason is customer insights has changed. The consumer thought process has changed. Now consumers are more thoughtful about what they consume and how much they need to consume. They're very particular. They're
Exactly.
planning whether it's time to spend or shall we delay it. They're not, you just look around the Tina and see there could be many things what we bought, but we are not using them. They're just appearing in our, whether it is home or office. But in today's environment, it will not happen. People will think twice buying anything. So on top of it, consumer behaves health conscious, expects hygiene. In our industry, he opts for healthy food. And the
Right.
good part is technology continues to play a major role even in post-COVID times. So being a technology platform, helping people to, book a hostel PG or a co-living space, I think it will really help, even in future. So you just have to stay with it and plan your things in more, cautiously and move forward.
Right. So, Harry, can you tell us, like, would we see any new marketing initiatives from the hospitality sector and businesses like yours to bring back your customers when things get back to normal?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it is not really specific. Only thing is you have to kind of top line some of the things. And I see the new strategy has to be customer empathy. You really need to act. You really need to understand your customer. It's not you and me anymore. It has to be we. Whenever someone visits the platform, it should sound like we. Hey, during COVID, we have that trouble. So let's build on how we are going to do this. So customer looks for, obviously customer look for virus-free, healthy food, doctor on call, safe sharing, safe. Everything is safe, safe, safe. So hence we are coming up with hygienic stays. We already started influencing our business partners to revamp considering the facts of the new strategy, customer empathy. We promote those properties upfront at no cost. Whoever really follows the hygienic terms, the basic to a great level, And we also keep working on digital marketing because, in this pandemic times, if you stay silent, people don't like it. Your customers don't like it. Customers want to hear you. They want to hear you, what you are doing, how you are helping the community. So we are continuing the digital marketing campaigns as everything is normal. And as I mentioned, the new normal is hygienic stays. So
Right.
all these days we are talking about, hey, PGO, find a verified hostel at PG. Now we are going to say that find a hygienic stay. So
Right.
that's what going to be our strategy.
Right. I agree with you, Harry. So, any thoughts you would like to share with young entrepreneurs and audiences on how to be prepared when there is an unexpected shift in the market, just like the COVID or something else?
Young entrepreneurs and audience, yeah. See, every movement in business happen only once. It happens only once. You need to plan your movement. You need to plan your movement. You have to have a solid business plan. Now, with a buffer of COVID kind of stuff, believe in yourself, take risks, get your financials in place, know your market, build right talent. You need to build a team of go-getters,
Right.
dreamers. You can't be successful alone. Finally, you just have to simply own it. And believe me, it's your turn. Just go and do it. That's my message.
Right. Also, a small question, Harry. By the way, how is the opportunity for budding learners to enter into the hospitality sector, since you have been working in this sector from the past more than 5 years, if I'm not wrong? So, how are the opportunities for them?
No, see, post COVID, there will be a lot of opportunities coming up, because things will stabilize and we need to quickly launch because, if you look at how the hospitality industry is, as I said, it's a $93 billion market.
Right.
So traditional marketing is already at $15 billion. So there will be much and many opportunities within the hospitality industry, both in the service segment and technology platforms like aggregators like Pigo.
Right. Right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Harry. This was such a great discussion with you, covering different aspects of growth for the hospitality sector and businesses like yours. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Harry, CEO and founder at Thinkwide PGO. Thank you so much, Harry.
Thank you, Tina. Take care.